Hey everybody, this is Sister Soul Rock. I may be doing away with that, I'm not sure. And welcome to another episode, a long-awaited episode of Word Salad. Yay! Word Salad. It's just a play on words for writers and readers and people who are trying to eat healthier, such as myself. This is not my normal body. This happened years ago. Actually, it started in 2009. But right now, I'm going through a crisis. So normally I do this in my kitchen. I make a salad, have all the ingredients out there, put all the ingredients together, I make it, and then I talk about the books or the audio books that I just read. So my life crisis right now, I cannot do that. So I'm in my car and I'm at the library's parking lot to use their Wi-Fi. So things are rough, but I have to keep on keeping on. I have to keep reading, and I have to start writing more, or writing. Shout out to Teresa Azarel. I think I'm gonna dedicate every show to her. She's on her way to London for the American Black Film Festival for a new film. And it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. Anywho, word salad. So, and I definitely wore the wrong bra for this. My chest looks huge, but I digress. It's not as big as it looks. Anyway, actually, the books I started with was I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. And it was to be the audiobook, How to Win Over Friends and Influence People. It's like a real classic, real classic book. It's been around for generations, but I haven't finished listening to it. I had to bum rush because I had found out about a movie that was coming out with some of my favorite cast members, and it's called The Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat. So when I found out about the movie, I'm like, okay, cool, it's coming on Hulu. I have Hulu. I can still afford Hulu, even though I am unemployed. I have no unemployment. I have no job. I have no clients yet. But, I'm still praying for that. But I found out it was a book first. So even though I'm in the sundown town that I am in right now in Southern California, I happen to go to their library, which, shout out to Cleveland Public Library and Cuyahoga County Public Libraries, the best libraries in the world. Southern California has the worst library system ever. And to my surprise, the sundown town that I'm in actually had a copy of the book. I could not believe it. I said, God, you are sending me some happiness, because I'm in distraught. I'm in despair. I'm about to lose my mind. I don't even know why I'm on this earth. I am so depressed. I am so sad. Give me some hope. And it was hope in this book. Thank you, Edward Kelsey Moore. I love people with three names. Edward Kelsey Moore. Written by a man. The Supremes are Earl's All You Can Eat. And I keep looking at it because it's a mouthful. I love it though. The Supremes are Earl's All You Can Eat. So when I found out when the movie was coming, I took 3 days and read this book. I haven't read a book in 3 days since A Disappearing Act, starting Sanaa Lathan and I forget. It was also Waiting to Exile. It was Terry McMillan's book, and Waiting to Exile. I read those two books in 3 days, and I haven't done that in a decade or more. I had to read this. I had got it, but I didn't start it until the last minute, and I literally finished it on Thursday, last week Thursday at 10:30 p.m. To my surprise, when I looked up, I'm like thinking, okay, Friday I'll watch the movie, but I guess Hulu was on East Coast time, and it was already in the system. So I literally finished the book at 10:30 p.m. and I watched the movie like at 11 o'clock. Man, oh man. This is such a great book, a great story. I love stories about friends, women. I love a period piece. Anything starting from anything before 1980 is like the coolest to me ever. I love, history. I love everything from decades before. The 2000s has been a lot of tragedy for me, and 2023, 2024 is really turning out to be a horrible year for me right now, and I hope it gets better. But The Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat. The movie is out there, and of course, I wish they would have made it. It could have been a 10-part series, because if you read this book, and there's something in my mouth, and you find out all the stuff that they didn't put in it in the movie, you're gonna be mad. Oh my God, you're gonna be so mad. I love the cast. I love the movie. I'm so glad. I'm so happy for him. I think he even had a hand in the screenwriting of it, because I look at all the credits. Shout out to the writer, the director, all that. It's so good. You're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, and it's a page turner. Of course, it's about three friends from sort of three different walks of life, but mainly two different walks of life, and it's a story of empathy and compassion and womanhood and truth and good men and some bad men. And the good men, oh my God, they love on us so good in this book. Oh my God, I just want to cry. I just want to cry. I hope I find a husband like the husband in this book. I'm not going to tell you who he's married to, but he's one of our favorite actors. Shout out to. Anyway, we love him. The men cast is so perfect. Even the guy who's bad, he does turn himself around, because you can't, hopefully you don't want to do bad your whole life. Some people do. I'm living with somebody that do right now, but it's not a man, it's a sibling. Anyway, the cast is so good. I love the clothes, the costumes. I love the set design. I love everything you're not expecting. But when you see the movie, again, you are going to be furious. And I know they have to compact a movie into 2 hours from a book, but I highly suggest watching the movie, but you got to read this book. You have to read this book. Tammy Mack, read this book. Tammy Mack, you and your friends need to read this book if you haven't already done it. I know she's a big fan of the movie. I'm a big fan of the movie. I'm a big fan of the cast. Oh my God, the cast. But anyway, Mr. Earl Kelsey Moore, you did the damn thing. I can't wait to discover some of your other works, and I'm looking forward to it. So The Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat is an outstanding book. It's a page turner, a tearjerker. You're going to love. You're going to cry. Oof. And it's about forgiveness, which is something I need to work on. I'm sorry to talk about myself. I feel like Steve Harvey when he do the Strawberry Letters. He always brings himself into it, but it's so funny. I'm going through a crisis, and forgiving right now is, whew. I have to forgive myself. I have to give the person who's doing what they do to make my life in a crisis right now. But I do things from love, and I loved, and I did things from my heart, and sometimes doing things you can break your own heart, and I broke my own heart by loving and trusting a family member. But anyway, it took my mind away from my troubles when I would read this. The Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat by Edward Kelsey Moore. I highly recommend reading the book. Read the book. You can do it in a couple of days. Even get the audio but you got to concentrate. Don't get the audio and be missing half of it because you ain't paying attention. You have to, I suggest reading the book and then watching the movie, because after you read the book and you watch the movie, because it's always that, the book, the movie, the book, the movie, the book, the movie, the book, the movie, and it is what it is. They can only do so much. I just wish it could be it could have been like 10 parts so they can put everything from the book in it. So this was such a great book, and I hope to be more inspired, and I hope to have a story that is compelling and just beautiful as this. Thank you, Edward Kelsey Moore, for The Supremes Eat at Earl's. All you can eat. Did I say it right? The Supremes at Earl's. No, see? The Supremes at Earl's. All you can eat. One of my stories, it has like a double title, and I'm sticking with it. I'm sorry, Tressa. I actually didn't tell her what it was. I told her actually about something else, and she said it was way too long, and I agree, but I want to chat with something else. It's like an ebook, about something else. But I love it. The Supremes at Earl's, all you can eat. I highly recommend. Okay. Now, my next book from the word salads. Oh, and let me tell you about my salad. So, since I am in a serious crisis in my life, I don't have a kitchen. My life is getting worse and worse by the day. I have not had a job in going on 7 months. I can't get unemployment. I don't have, it was so many things that have happened to me these last couple of months because I did something out of love for someone else, and it's backfired on me. So anyway, I went and got, and I'm really having a bad day today, I went and got one of my favorite salads. Now, let me tell you about this, because I'm poor at the time, and I never used to use that word on myself. Slick Harvey says the best you can do for a poor person is not become one of them. And I haven't been rich yet, but I was taking care of myself. I'm on my apartment. I was back in school. I was working, and I was writing. I was working on my small businesses. I was doing the damn thing, and I gave all that up to help someone else out, and it backfired. But on one of my days when I didn't have any money for food, someone gave me some food, and one of the food items, it was from Trader Joe's, and it was just salad. When I tell you, and I buy them at 3 at a time. This is called, it's by Trader Joe's, of course, the best store in the world. Love you, Trader Joe's. Pearl couscous salad with chicken. The ingredients are couscous, which I love. My sister helped me on that. Cherry tomatoes, garbanzo beans, white chicken meat, bell pepper, and arugula. I chop it all up because I don't, chop up I actually take scissors. I actually bought some scissors. I don't know what I was gonna do. These are my little niece's scissors. Because I didn't want to, do my show in that person's house, which is I might be living in this car in a minute. But I chop it all up, mix it all up. It's so delicious. It's so delicious. Look at it. It is so delicious. So this is our salad for this episode of Word Salad, featuring the books of Edward Kelsey Moore and Jeanette McCurdy. Now let me tell you about how I got to reading this. Most of the times, 99.99999% of the times, I read books, people who look like me. I love Hispanic authors, Latino authors, Asian authors, Native American authors. Oh my God, I love authors from India. Oh my God, I love a cultured author because it's just so rich, and they just have so much to say, and it's just, I just don't read vanilla. But this young lady was on The View. And of course, she wrote a book that's called I'm Glad My Mom Died. I'm like, what the heck? What is that about? Unbeknownst to me, we grew up on the Flintstones, the Jetsons, Good Times, and the Brady Bunch. we had ABC, NBC, and CBS, and then that VHS channel like 13 in LA. We didn't have, it wasn't cable, wasn't a thing, or at least not in my community. And it definitely wasn't that I didn't know of. Nickelodeon, Disney, they didn't have any of that stuff. So evidently, she was a child star. I'm grown. I didn't watch this. I have two nieces. One is in her 20s, one is 6. So my 22-year-old, she did hit me onto like Disney and Nickelodeon, a couple of things. But I don't remember her watching this. I don't think I was around her when she was watching this, so she might not have watched this. But I think she was on iCarly. I think that's it. And Sam and Cat. So of course I had to, well, let me see who she is. But her story, when she was on The View, it just reached out to me because I have a sensitive relationship with my mom. And so I was curious about what this is about. Now, because of my life crisis, look how long it has taken me to finish this book. I'm not even ashamed of my game. This is from the best library in the world. Even though I'm 3,000 miles away, I'm going to send this book back to them. And as soon as I get income coming in, I'm going to send them a huge donation, even though they're not going to take it. But I'm going to write it out to the email. I'm going to send it in a check, so they're not going to be able to give it back. Because they don't have a rule. You don't have to pay for overdue books, unlike California library system that sucks, especially in the sundown town. But anyway, I rented this from my favorite place, South Euclid and Green, my home library in Mayfield Heights, Cleveland Heights. I got this book. I checked it out. I didn't even know I had checked it out this early. October 17th, 2023 at 8:50. At 8:50, military time, 2050, in October, the last couple of weeks of October, and I didn't read it. I was doing other things. I started preparing myself to move, which was a big mistake, other than being around family members that I do have left that I love. Then I actually started reading it, because most of the time I never ever check out books. I buy every single book I want to read. I will buy it from Borders, rest in peace Borders, Barnes and Nobles. My favorite is to buy from a black bookstore. I'll buy it from Half Price Books. I'll get it off of Amazon, not YouTube, Amazon, eBay, wherever there's a bookstore and it has the book that I want to buy. So, funny thing, I ended up with 2 rented books. One I got to take back before they charge me $500, and then the next, they just love us. They probably don't even care if I even bring it back, but I am, I promise. And I can't wait to send it to my good friend Lori at the library. I didn't start reading this because when I buy my books, I always put in the back of the book when I start to read it. I put the date and the time. Then I put the date and the time but when I finish it. So I started reading this, even though I got it in October. I didn't start reading it until December 27th, 2023 at 7:20 p.m. I finished the book. I should have wrote it down, I forgot. But I had to read, The Supremes at Earl's, All You Can Eat. But I did finish this before I was into that. So I just finished it maybe the 17th, maybe like last Tuesday or something like that. I don't know what time it was. I do remember it's about 8:30. I Am Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. My little vanilla daughter. I've adopted her. She is a sweetheart. Gerard Carmichael says, impressively funny. Lena Dunham says, an important cultural document. I say this is a must read for those. First of all, I love anybody's memoir or bio. I love reading about people that I like or love, or I never even heard of her until I've heard of her. And I found this book really, really excellent. I'm going to assume it was a New York Times bestseller. She speaks her truth. We see movie stars, actors, actresses, television stars, entertainers, celebrities, and we think they have it all. Well, I did learn a couple of decades ago, and I cried. I remember reading an article. I think it was in Essence too. I think. Shout out to Essence. When Janet Jackson said she was depressed, I thought the world was going to end. I was like, wait a minute. You're Janet Jackson. Why would you even be sad? Why would you be depressed? Why? You're Janet Jackson. And you have to realize that people, like right now, I'm in mourning because my boyfriend, Ben Affleck, I let him borrow Jennifer Lopez, and I love Jennifer Lopez, my girlfriend. Not my girl, like my friend. I'm very sad that they broke up because I really wanted it to work for them. It might be a chance to me. Things can happen. I doubt it, but just in my head, Ben Affleck is my man because I think he's just so fine, tall, and sexy. But my heart is hurting for them. But we see, I don't know how I got on them, but her story is, as a child actress, I just didn't know. First of all, think twice, parents. Think twice when you're putting your kids into these things, into these programs and these acting classes. You better stay. You better not leave the room. Don't you ever leave the room. Whatever is going on, I don't care if they give you $10 million per episode. Do not leave that room. Shame on, as she calls him, the creator of the shows she was on. They are abusing these young people. Her relationship with her mother. Oh my God. We just never know. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And I just can't even imagine some of the things that she went through, how your psychic. The relationship I have with my mother it was some physical stuff, and I'm not going to get into it, but it was more emotional, verbal, psychological, mental. I can't even imagine having the things I know about having a not so good relationship with my mother, and then to put that on with some physical things that goes on with her mother. Living in a house, we was clean. Oh my God, we did the Saturday. Every Saturday you cleaned up. I am a neat freak. I am a professional organizer. I need a client. Shout out to getting some clients soon. I cannot be in this predicament much longer. My faith is, whoo, Jesus, come on now with it. It's going on 7 months. I don't have any income, but I'll give up some of the things. Before we knew a word for it, when we just called in my community, oh, their house is nasty. She lived in a hoard house. We've all seen the show. Well, if you haven't seen the show, look it up. Some of it's on YouTube. I know it's on Hulu, wherever it came from, whatever cable had it. Watch a couple of episodes, and they kind of live like that. I don't know to what extent, but she said it, not me. To put that, I actually have somebody I know personally who was a hoard. But again, this was the 80s. We didn't have a word for it. But Jeanette is a strong girl. She's strong. She's so tiny. When I watch the show, I'm like, oh my God, she's so little. Little like she's like probably like 5 feet, I guess. She's just so cute, and she has the hair of life. Girl, your hair is fantastic. It's so thick and full. But Jeanette, your story moved my heart. I do read vanilla, but I read vanilla of people that I know. Like I got Demi Moore, Sally Fields, all the rock stars that I love. I just don't read like fiction vanilla. I read my bro's hanging out. I'll read a memoir of somebody. So I do read my vanilla community's memoirs and biographies and stuff like that. But they have to be written from them. I don't believe in somebody else writing somebody else's thing unless they writing it with them or they approve. Like it's so many books that people write about other people's. Like, I don't know if you're telling the truth. I don't know if what you're saying. But when it comes from straight from the person, I have a whole nother respect when I look at the shows. I just think about what she was going through. And just because you see somebody doing something doesn't mean, and they're getting highly paid well, doesn't mean that it's something they're passionate about, something that's in their heart, something that they want to do. Her mother wanted to be an actress, but she didn't get that opportunity. She became a big-time actress, movie star. Oh my God! And she sings. Oh my God! She put out a couple albums. I found them on YouTube. Beautiful voice. She has it all. I'm sure she can dance. She's just talented. She's a sweet young lady, and we just never know to look at someone to know what they're going through. And my heart just goes out for her. She's good, and she went through some things, some addictions, and we all do. We're all human. I just appreciate that she was so open and vulnerable with her story. Like, some of the things you would think she would have taken to her grave and not let out of her house. I don't want to start crying, but she's just strong. And I just really respect and I love you and I appreciate you, Jeanette McCurdy. My little daughter, my little daughter, I just love her. And I do. My niece, she's 6. Sometimes she'll watch the show, so I'll sit down and I'll watch a couple episodes with her. And the one that's with Ariana Grande, and I kept saying, is that her real voice? And every time I would say it, nobody in the family would be like, no, that's not her real voice. And I just kept saying every time it would be on, and she would have that voice, Ariana Grande, and I was like, that cannot be her real voice. I know she's a singer, but so somebody finally said, then no, that was just, her acting voice, a voice she was using for the show. But I love the little secrets you tell about when you were doing the show with her, and just speaking your truth and speaking your honesty. So I'm going to wrap it up. It's going on 26 minutes and 46 seconds. I hope this has recorded. It'll probably take God knows how long to upload it. I'll probably have to come back from the library because at the monster house I'm in, there's no Wi-Fi. There was days when there would be Wi-Fi for maybe an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Then there would be no Wi-Fi for 2 or 3 days. And now whatever the monster has done, there's absolutely no Wi-Fi. And my poor little phone is, the little data is just eating up my little data. But sending out whatever you believe in. Put your faith on me because my life has to change. I'm in a valley. But books, word salad, they bring me joy. So, word salad episode, I think this is the 3rd one, I think. I'm not, I don't have everything that I have so I can normally do, make my salad like I did last time when I was in my own kitchen in Mayfield Heights. I love that long counter I had. And my salad from Trader Joe's, my pearl couscous salad with chicken. This has been Word Salad. I'm Sister Soul Rock. I just read in 3 days the Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat. And I just read that it took me almost a year to finish I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. 2 books I highly recommend. You got to read this book before you watch the movie. And read the book and go over some Nickelodeon and Disney, whichever one is on. Whoever it was. I think it was Nickelodeon. Shame on you, Nickelodeon. But you'll see her in a different light. God bless her. God bless the authors. God bless me, because I need it, because I'm going through it. I'm surprised I didn't even cry. Yay, I didn't cry. I'll probably cry after this show. Right, this is Sister Soul Rock. Oh, I'm going to do some things that I'm embarrassed, I'm ashamed, I'm afraid, but I have to do it. I have no choice. I am so desperate right now. I'm going to reach out to those whom I've loved and supported. Either I bought your book, went to the movie theater, the picture shows, I like to call it old school, saw your movie, watch your television show, because television is not free, so I'm paying for it. I'm reaching out to everybody. I need the people I love to love me back. I know you don't know me, and I only know you through your art, but my grandfather Willie always said, always ask. You're only going to get 2 answers, yes or no. This is Word Salad. I am Sister Soul Rock, and thank you for watching.